Hi there, and welcome to Studio SN, your place for card making, rubber stamping, and paper crafting tutorials. My name is Sara Naumann, and I'm so very glad you're here. Today I want to show you a quick and easy Christmas card featuring laser cut chipboard embellishments. So you can see on the front of my card this beautiful poinsettia here, as well as the swirls, this word believe, and even the little snowflake accents on here. These beautiful detailed embellishments are all laser cut chipboard that's been colored with a direct-to-paper inking technique. Super simple to do and a great way to create some really elegant Christmas card designs. So let's take a look at the chipboard and talk a little bit about that. I'll move my card aside. Here's the chipboard as it comes. Now this is the Christmas Sparkle collection from hot off the press, and there are several other collections too, depending on what theme you like. You'll notice here that you've got a sheet of images, and all you need to do is just simply pop out those images, or if you want to, you can also, like I do sometimes, just chop them out from that backing sheet. So you can see here's the poinsettia, and here I've just cut around it with a pair of scissors. I like to do this when I'm doing inking because then it gives me something to kind of hold on to. Now the chipboard on the front of the sheet will have kind of a vintage look to it. If you flip it over though and you look at the back, you'll notice that it's got, I guess you'd call that the scorch marks from the laser cutting. And this will give you another option, and it's a really beautiful sort of distressed look. So you can use the images, most of them, either front or back, and I think with the exception of the words, they will all look really cool either way. So like with this deer here, for example, you could have him facing this way or flip him over and have him going the other direction. Now as far as the inking process, it's really quite simple to do. I'm going to be using some inks from Spectrum Noir. So this is the Plum Jam. I'm also going to use the Pine Tree for my swirls. And then finally, I'm going to be using the gold pigment ink as well. So I'm going to move these all aside, except for my Plum Jam. I'm working onto a craft sheet, and many of you have seen this process before. It's quite simple. I'm going to work on the lighter side of the poinsettia, and all I need to do is just rub the ink pad right on here. Now, if I want a very light application of color, all I need to do is just kind of tap that ink pad on there. If I want heavier coverage, kind of swirl it around a little bit. It just depends on how dark I want my image to be. Now this ink is a slow drying ink, which means that I really want to make sure that after I've got all of my inking done, that I let this set aside to dry. So that's with the Plum Jam. I'm going to move that aside, and I'll bring in one of my little swirls here. Let me just swoop up the rest of this ink on here, clean that up a little bit. And this is using the Pine Tree. Same process as before, just flip your ink pad over, hold on to part of that chipboard backing, and then just press the ink or rub the ink right on top. And once this dries, then I can easily pop that out and use it on my project. Now the last piece that I want to show you is the Believe. And this one I've inked using the Midas, and this is a metallic gold pigment ink. So this one is going to give me a bit of sparkle and shine as well. And with this one, I'm just pressing it on, and again, just giving a bit of rubbing effect on here to make sure that I've got all the ink going on here. And again, just as much or as little as you want. Make sure it's on there evenly, and then I've got a really beautiful metallic effect. I'll just kind of tilt this a little bit so that you can see. So again, just set all of those aside to dry, and when they're dry, then you can pop them out from their backing and put them together on your card. Now for this one, I backed the poinsettia with a piece of white cardstock so that that would stand out a little bit more. The swirls I just glued straight down, the Believe as well, just glued straight down onto a piece of cardstock. The pattern paper is from the Christmas Sparkle paper pack, also from hot off the press. And I've also used that gold metallic ink just to do some edging around the sides of the card as well, just to tie everything together. So this is a great quick and easy technique to have on hand as you're creating your Christmas cards or cards for other occasions as well. Thank you so much for joining me today on Studio SN. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe to Studio SN on YouTube, and I'll keep you updated on the very latest stamping and card making videos. In the meantime, please feel free to stop by my website, saranaumann.com, for more paper crafting ideas. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you next week.